What's going on, everybody? We have another tier list today. Of course, we're going to be talking about all of the amazing cards of 2025. Obviously, we got the S to F tier list right here. I'm going to be going through every single card this year that happens, giving my review of it, and placing it in the tier list to where I think it belongs. Of course, please comment. Tell me if you agree or disagree. Let me know why. Let me know if you put something somewhere else. All that business. But let's go ahead. Let's get down to business. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and start off with UFC 311. I got to scroll down too. Oopsies. There we go. UFC 311 Makhachev versus Moicano. Our first event of the year. This was a pretty decent start to the year. Pretty decent, pretty okay. Renan Nakamura lost to Muin Gafurov. Kind of forgot about that. Ricky Turquoise got bitch made again. Alan Perez twerked on Carol Rosa. Oh my gosh, dying here. Grant Dawson got his win. Bogdan Guskov climbed up the unranked rankings. Asmat Bekiov destroyed Zachary Reese. Peyton Talbot got clowned on by Ronnie Barcelos. Give Ronnie Barcelos a ranked opponent. Kevin Holland choked out by Reiner de Ritter. Sergey Spivak KO'd by Gelatin Almeida. What a rare one. Yuri Prohaska, Jamal Hill go on a crazy fight together. Merab and Umar also put on a crazy fight. And Islam versus Renato Moicano. It was kind of meh. A little bit expected. Renato Moicano had to step on one day's notice because, I'll just say Arman Tsarukyan could not make weight. Now, whether he wants to say it's because of a back injury or whatever. Sorry about that. He could not make the weight. I think that's why. And the UFC is really pissed about that. Really pissed, especially Dana White. To change up the event on one day, the opponent on one day's notice is absolutely crazy. And I think that's part of the reason why Arman Tsarukyan is getting so much flack. I think it's kind of crazy that John Jones and a lot of other people have gotten away with a lot of stuff. But if you look at it from this perspective, John Jones has headlined lots of main events, made Dana White a lot of money with pay-per-view, had some crazy rivalries. He's a legend in the sport, whether you like it or not. Arman Tsarukyan just isn't there yet. And so if you're a guy that's, not fighting often and creating all these problems and stuff like that, headbutting your opponent before the fight, punching a fan on the workout, changing an event the day of, there's a lot of things that go on to Arman Tsarukyan here that unfortunately is just bad for him. But anyways, let's keep talking about this card here. Let's not get sidetracked. Merab and Umar put on a really great fight. They just grappling exchanges were great. The striking was pretty great from both of them. Really competitive fight. Merab got the job done against Umar. It was one of the few times I was really rooting for Merab to win. And he absolutely just mogged Umar Nurmagomedov. Absolutely mogged him. I predicted this too. I predicted Merab would mog Umar Nurmagomedov in one of my earlier videos. If you want to go check that out earlier in the year, I totally predicted this. Anyways, Yuri Prohaska, Jamal Hill, crazy fight. Crazy fight between them. I think I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and start this off in the C tier. Again, Merab got a really great performance against Umar. Very memorable, very nice for me. Yuri Prohaska had a great performance against Jamal Hill. And I like Jamal Hill, but Yuri Prohaska, I edge him out as liking him a little bit more. Reiner de Ritter also really came onto the scene, submitting Kevin Holland. As far as that goes, there wasn't really anything else notable going on the card. Gelatin Almeida got a KO over Sergey Spivak, but Sergey Spivak kind of sucks, a little bit of fatty. So yeah, we're going to keep that in C tier for now. If anything, I'll make an adjustment further on if I end up changing my mind, but we're going to keep it in C tier. It was a pretty okay card. to start off the year. Kind of at least the main event ended in a finish, but it was kind of like, it's not what we wanted to see. Moving on to UFC 312, Plessis versus Strickland 2. Again, got the Quinlan Saw Kid Angel Jubilee finish. I mean, lots of memes have been made from this amazing star potential for Quinlan Saw Kid this year. I mean, not potential, achieved potential Quinlan Saw Kid put in. And this was the start of it. Really memorable moment. Great KO off the beginning. Absolutely clowned Angel Jubilee, a.k.a. Indian Khabib. But anyways, we had some other great fights on the card. Rongju versus Cody Steele. Great fight as well. Colby Thickenese versus Alexandre Topuria was a pretty good fight. They both had some back and forth, but Alexandre Topuria was the clear winner of this one. Wayne Kong got to a little bit of an okay decision. Tom Nolan beat Borsachev. Jack Jenkins submitted by Gabriel Santos. Kind of sucked to see. Our main card was a little bit of a stinker. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Jamie Crute, Adolfo Bellato went to a draw. Well, Justin Tafa got destroyed by Taliesin Teixeira. Not a surprise. Get the Tafa brothers out of the fucking UFC if they aren't already. Zhang Wei Li, had a really memorable fight against Tatiana Suarez. I'll be completely honest with you. The same thing with Duplessis versus Strickland. I mean, he did bust his nose, kind of plastered it across his face, but other than that, not that memorable of a card. Go ahead. I'm gonna put this in the D tier. I'm honestly, I might put it in F tier. The only notable thing that you can really look back at this fight card was the Quinlan Saw Kid versus Angel Jubilee fight. Other than that, I mean, not too much, not a lot of KOs and, not a lot of good stuff on this card, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, sucks to see, but we're going to put that one in F tier for now. Maybe I might move it up to D, but we'll keep on moving. On to the next one. UFC 313, Pereira versus Ankalaev. Why? Now when we go down to this card, we only had one fight in the early prelims. Interesting, I don't remember. Myron Santos, split decision. Alex Morano got KO'd by Carlos Leal. Not a surprise. Bruno Ferreira submitted Armin Petrosyan. Joshua Van, there he is, our boy with the belt over here on the prelims at the beginning of the year, all the way to the end of the year, being a co-main event. How crazy is that? Beat Ray Tassura in a decision. Not really memorable, to be completely honest with you. Marcio Rufy got a crazy highlight KO against Bobby Green. Ignacio Bahamondes submitted Jalen Turner. Justin Gaethje beat Rafael Fiziev. Had some pretty okay moments against Rafael Fiziev. Nothing crazy. I think he dropped him in the second round, which was the big whoop about that. And then Magomed Ankalaev against Alex Pereira. This was kind of a stinker fight, for me to be completely honest with you. It was competitive, but Magomed Ankalaev, man, put on a boring decision win against Alex Pereira. It really did show, especially now that we have the second fight in hindsight. Alex Pereira was just not 100% in this fight against Magomed Ankalaev, and unfortunately, this was a bit of a bummer card. Again, other than the Marcio Rufy KO against Bobby Green, nothing really that notable on this card, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm definitely going to put this in the F tier. I'm going to put it above Duplessis and Strickland because of that Marcio Rufy KO. It's like a KO of the year contender. Although that one KO by Quinlan was definitely impressive, the spinning wheel kick is definitely up there. That definitely helped make the card, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. Moving on to our next one. Ooh, 314, Volkanovski versus Lopez. I think this was a pretty decent card from what I remember. Marco Tulio got a KO against Tresean Gore. submission from Nora Cornell against Haley Cohen. I don't really remember that, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. Mitch Rasipo versus Samjori, kind of bummer fight too as well. Split decision. Cedric Dumas, got KO'd against Michael Olszewski. I love seeing Cedric Dumas get KO'd. I hope he gets KO'd more. Julian Erosa got a KO against Darren Elkins. Chase Hooper, a little bit of a breakout performance against Jim Miller, although in hindsight now, the Jim Miller win isn't aging too well. Brandon Jandaroba, Yan Xiaonan, 1-3 on the prelims. Pretty stacked. Dan Ige, Sean Woodson had a crazy fight, and he ended up getting a KO against him in round 3. Really crazy. Nikita Krylov, Dominic Reyes, crazy fight. Dominic Reyes with the step back. I think it was just straight left onto the chin of Nikita Krylov after Nikita Krylov came out crazy strong against Dominic Reyes. John Silva, beautiful performance against Bryce Mitchell. I feel bad for my boy Bryce, but this was his last fight at featherweight, which is good because, he was just way too small. Not strong enough for that weight class, to be completely honest with you, because he really was just getting out-muscled by a lot of these guys in the grappling positions. And striking too wise, he just didn't have that heat on his feet for bantamweight. Anyways, moving on. Patricio Pitbull fails his debut against Yair Rodriguez. Paddy Pimblett, breakout performance against Michael Chandler. It's what got him the title shot. And Diego Lopez and Alexander Volkanovski have also a really great fight. Got that highlight moment of them both throwing hooks at the same time, landing on each other. What a beautiful moment. I'm going to give this card a B tier. It was pretty good. Glad to see Volk get the belt back. Good to see Paddy Pimblett break out now. Patricio Pitbull got shut down just to show that UFC is levels above this. John Silva breaks out as well against Bryce Mitchell. Dominic Reyes gets a redeeming performance. Danny Gay KO. I might move this up to, and you know what? Because Cedric Dumas got KO'd, honestly, I'm going to bring it up to an A tier. Bring it up to an A tier, great fight, and seeing Volk get the belt back, that was a beautiful moment for him, honestly. Really great to see that, and I hope he keeps it again against Lopez, but I think Lopez is going to take him out this next time around. But anyways, moving on. Some great cards this year. Some good cards, some poopy cards. This is kind of one of those poopy cards, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. Decision, Bezcat Alkaman just starts Brad Katona. Get Brad Katona out of the UFC. I know he won the tough, but get the Ultimate Fighter champion. Get the Ultimate Fighter out of the UFC. Get Brad Katona out of the UFC. Again, okay fight with Daniel Santos and Young Lee from what I remember. Marc-Andre Barriault put out Bruno Silva. Kind of expected a little bit. Navajo Sterling versus Ivan Ursulin, boring. Deskus Bukauskas, Ion Cutelaba was boring. Jasmine Jasubiscus did get a submission against Jessica Andrade in the first round, which is impressive. That does add a little bit of stock to this card. Mike Malott got a KO. Great moment for Canada as well. Benoit St. Denis got the better of Kyle Prepelic. Kyle Prepelic is just, unfortunately, was not that good from what we saw. Alex Grasso versus Natalia Silva. Pretty forgettable fight. Jose Aldo losing to Ayman Zahabi puts a kind of a stink on this fight a little bit. I'm going to have to rewatch this fight, to be completely honest, but I just don't feel like... Jose Aldo lost this fight, man. I really don't. That's just my opinion. I think he landed... I don't know. I'm going to have to rewatch this fight to get my opinion on it, but I think it was an absolute stinker to have Jose Aldo. His last fight be against Ayman Zahabi, Errol Hawani lookalike. I mean, we couldn't get him to fight a Henry Cejudo. At the end of the day, come on, man. Just so many missed opportunities with Jose Aldo's ending career, man. Really a lot of missed opportunities to have some fun fights, but, yeah, anyways, Valentina Shevchenko, man, I'm furious. I'm sorry, Valentina Shevchenko burner account, okay? But this was a forgettable fight. No one fucking remembers this fight, and I'm sorry. I feel bad for Valentina. She deserves better, okay? Or not, she deserves better. She needs to do better. She needs to be finishing these girls. she's dominating him, holding him down, and having her way with them. She needs to be finishing. I know she beat them, obviously, decision, whatever, but KOs and finishes are what makes the money come for the UFC, man. Decisions and, tit for tat kind of sparring sessions, unfortunately, just it's not what we're looking for in our champs. We want finishes. And speaking of that, Bilal Muhammad versus Jack Atlanta, they went to a little bit of a war, bloodied each other up. Great performance from Jack Della Maddalena. Absolutely shut down Bilal Muhammad. Unfortunately, the Bilal Muhammad win is not aging very well for Jack Della Maddalena, as Bilal Muhammad is... It's one of those situations where, man, this guy became champ. Ooh, same thing with Leon Edwards, too. It's like, he became champ when he shut down Usman, and it's like, man, how... Oh, the sport changes so fast, man. It really does. 1 year you're at the top, next year you're 2 losses down, unfortunately. There's that. Okay, I'll get back to that later. Let's not get interrupted. Anyways, to rank this card, I am gonna put it at D tier. I really did like. No, actually. Although I really do like Jack Della Maddalena, I don't know, the Jose Aldo, the Valentina fight, the Alexa Grasso and the Benoit Saint Denis fight. I mean, he did beat him, but look at this, minus 69 favorite. He was expected to. Nothing really that crazy, that exciting. Malcolm Malott knocked out Charles Radke, which is good. Jasmine Jasudavicius got a submission, which is good, but unfortunately, just don't think I can really. I don't know if I can't put these other fights in D tier, then I have to put this one in D tier. But definitely, we'll keep that sucker right there for now. Maybe I'll change my mind later. Maybe I'll move it around a little bit when I go back through this again. But anyways, moving on to this next one. UFC 316, Dvalishvili versus O'Malley 2. O'Malley gets submitted. Juliana Pena gets submitted. Kevin Gastelum, Gil Piper go at it. Mario Batista shuts down Patchy Mix. Kevin Holland gets a submission back against Vicente Luque. He loses his first fight of the year and the pay-per-view by submission, and then he wins it. This next one by submission. Kind of funny how that goes. Joshua Van gets the KO against Bruno Silva. Here's our boy coming back again, being active as hell. If only he was a champion and getting these KOs and stuff like that. Joshua Van would not be in the F tier for my champions tier list of 2025. Quinlan Sal Kid shuts down Yall and now Ashmouz, and not as impressive an performance, but still pretty good. Jusang Wu gets a crazy KO against Jeka Sargish. Nice check hook kind of fade away situation. Azamat Murzakanov gets KO against Brendanson Ribeiro, but I mean, that was kind of expected as well too. Same thing with Joshua Van KO, a little bit expected. I gotta admit, this main card too is a little bit of a stinker. Merab definitely improved against O'Malley on that end, and showed that why he was champion at that time over the other bantamweights. Kayla Harrison finally takes the crown away from Juliana Pena. Fuck, like really, fuck you, ESPN. Yeah. Anyways, I think this one's gonna go into a D tier for me. I did like Mario Batista shutting down Patchy Mix. I thought that was a great performance by him, but Patchy Mix just looked like absolute shit, man. Absolute shit. And he looked like shit in his last fight too. So it's hard to rate that win for Mario Batista since it looked like absolute shit. So I'm gonna be putting this one in the D tier. Great performance by Merab. Again, a little bit of a boring fight, lackluster until he submitted him. But yeah, I'm gonna be putting Merab Dvalishvili in D tier for now. Or UFC 316, I should say, not Merab. But anyways, moving on to our next one. Topuria versus Oliveira. Now, this was a banger card. This was pretty banger from what I remember. The Alvin Hines, Johanna Diaz fight, I slept through. Jacoby Smith got it done against Nico Price. Of course, that was expected. Terrence McKinney got it done against Vilchev Borchev by choking him out pretty quickly in the first round. Tracy Cortez gets a win. Jose Miguel Delgado got a great KO against Hyder Emil in the first round. Gregory Rodriguez absolutely starched Jack Hermanson, probably ruining his career. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, he battered him, absolutely battered him, and hit him with a strong shot at the end that was really not needed. Peyton Talbot redeems himself. Beneil Dariush beat Renato Moicano, and honestly, a pretty forgettable fight. But then we go up here to Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van, and banger fight right there. Absolute banger fight. That is what ended up getting Joshua Van the title shot, as definitely it should have. Then we had Pantoja defend against Kaikar France, submitted him in the third round, just put on a masterclass on Kaikar France. From what I remember, as far as striking wise, Kaikar France was throwing shit, but Pantoja was just walking through it, got him down, and just choked him out. Pretty easy work from Pantoja. Great performance by him. And then we have the Ilia Topuria, Charles Oliveira. I think this elevates it to S tier, to be completely honest with you. To be completely honest, I think this is the first one I'm going to put in S tier. The Ilia Topuria, Charles Oliveira KO, the fight was very anticipated, very hyped, and we got what we wanted. We got a crazy KO from one of these guys. One of these guys had to get finished, and Topuria did it in amazing fashion, brought a lot of hype onto him, got the 155 belt, technically became double champ, because if we're going to be honest with you, I think he still beats Volkanovski in a rematch. He left the 145 belt, but ended up coming back, ended up getting it, so I think that even ages better for Topuria, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, no, this definitely elevates it to S tier, especially with the Joshua Van Brandon Royval fight being an absolute generational flyweight fight. They just, they got a record for strikes the amount of strikes that they put. 209, 216, just absolute crazy fight from these guys. And then we got a great co-main event, and we had a really banger main event, really hyped banger, absolutely crazy main event. So that I'm going to be putting that one in S tier. Moving on to our next one, Holloway versus Poirier 3. This one I think was a little bit of a stinker as well, from what I remember. This one was a stinker. I'm sorry, Carly Judas. I don't remember your KO against Nicole Kalari. I'm sure it was pretty good. Bruno Ferreira beat Jackson McVeigh. Okay. Brian Spann submitted Lucas Brzezinski and at heavyweight. Crazy Ryan Spann winning in 2025. Jimmy Crute also crazy to win in 2025 as well by submission. Islam Dulatov got a KO. I kind of forgot how that went against Adam Fugit, if I'm going to be honest. Ateba Gutierrez absolutely destroyed Robert Valentin, and which sucks because I really want to see Robert Valentin win. This poor guy, 11-6, man. He's been getting some tough matchups. They've been throwing him to the wolves, man. But anyways, moving on. Nikolai Valentinkinov versus Francisco Prado. He ended up winning by split. Although not really memorable. Brendan Allen, Marvin Vettori fight. I think I just remember Marvin Vettori just eating shots for lunch and just still coming forward. They actually were pretty similar to each other, but yeah, Brandon Allen got more of the takedowns. A little bit of a forgettable fight. Same thing with the Kyler Phillips Vinicius Oliveira fight. A little bit of a forgettable fight. Daniel Zellhuber out-unked Michael Johnson out-unked Daniel Zellhuber and showed why he's still game, which is crazy. Michael Johnson beating Daniel Zellhuber, to think about it. And this guy's supposed to be a young up-and-coming prospect and just got absolutely punked by Michael Johnson. Patricio Pitbull beat Dan Ige in a A little bit of a boring fight. Kevin Holland, absolutely fumbled the bag against a very winnable fight against Daniel Rodriguez, where Kevin Holland was just, I don't know, like not throwing. It's so crazy, Kevin Holland. I love Kevin Holland. And he just sometimes just like gets into fights where he's like, what the fuck are you doing? What punches are we throwing here? Like, dude, you have the range. You have the advantage on him. Fucking throw shit at him. Fuck. But yeah, anyways, Paulo Costa returns to form against Roman Kopylov. It was a pretty okay fight, but nothing crazy, honestly. And then Max Holloway beats Dustin Poirier. 5-round fight. From what I remember, Max Holloway just put it on. Yeah, he really did. He really did just put it on Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier, unfortunately, yeah, just out of his prime, man. Couldn't do it anymore. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put this in F tiers as well. This was a little bit of a stinker card. I love Dustin Poirier. I love Max Holloway. Like it was a pretty good fight, but at the same time too, like, we're getting a lot of highlights from it. Are we getting a lot of like, oh man, Max Holloway was styling on Dustin Poirier here? I haven't been seeing stuff like that. I haven't been seeing stuff like that for Paulo Costa against Roman Kopylov, like Patricio Pitbull, Dan Ige. I haven't been seeing a lot of like I think I've seen the Octavio Gutierrez highlight come back on my feed, but all these other fights I just haven't seen any highlights, any moments from these. A pretty forgettable fight card, unfortunately, and it was for the BMF belt. Unfortunately, it's just not a real belt. I love the idea a little bit, but at the same time too, like the BMF belt should be a universal belt, and I think it should be one for every weight class. Maybe ? No, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy. The BMF belt is like it went from welterweight to featherweight. Now it's at lightweight again. So yeah, belt's kind of traveling amongst the winged divisions right now. It's a little weird, but anyways, moving on to our next one. Duplessis versus Chimaev. Now we had some banger co-main. We had a banger feature fight. Pretty good fight with Jared Cannonier and Michael Venom Page. Tim Elliott destroying Kaya Sakura. Banks Sakaev. Also kind of clowning on Eric Nolan. Michael Olasechik destroying my GOAT GM3. Lupi Godinez beating Jessica Andrade. A little bit surprising. Alexander Hernandez brutalized Chase Hooper. Sucks to see for Chase Hooper. I like Chase Hooper, but just his striking, unfortunately, needs to improve a lot. His defense, too, as well. So Barboza lost to Jakar Close. Not really memorable. Kareem Silva, not really memorable. Ali Abdurius versus... I do remember Joseph Morales versus Ali Abdurius because I think he did the 6-7 kind of shit or whatever. So that was pretty memorable. But man, I gotta put this card. Unfortunately, the Duplessis versus Khamzat fight was a stinker. Okay, I'm sorry, all you Khamzat fans, Khabib fans, because they kind of all just kind of intertangle with each other. To be completely honest, it was a boring fight. Khamzat spent a lot of time on top control, not going for. I mean, the submissions he would go for just were not full attempts. He wasn't really trying to submit Duplessis. Like it was a boring fight. It was a really boring fight from Khamzat Chimaev. Really stinker fight. Really stunk up this card, unfortunately. But Roland Murphy and the Carlos Pratos KOs, the back-to-back spinning elbows, the Jared Cannonier Michael Venom Page fight, I think that really helped save this card. So does the Bastoniger Susukaya fight. That also kind of saves this card a little bit. But yeah, man, it was a stinker fight. Again, impressive for Khamzat Chimaev to be able to hold him down and not let Dricus Duplessis really do anything. But at the same time, too, it was boring. I'm sorry, you're not sitting there like, oh my god, this is so great. This is the best thing ever. And he's just ding, 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 ding on Duplessis, like not really doing anything. I'm sorry. It's terrible. And I don't even like, I like Duplessis, okay? But at the same time, too, like, if Duplessis did the same shit to Khamzat, I would be just as equally as critical, if not more critical, because that's not how just Duplessis fights. But anyways, we are going to put this right now at A tier as well. For the Carlos Prates and the Carlos Prates and the Rowan Murphy spinning elbows, absolute highlights, have been, re-shown multiple times this year. Great highlights, of course. And Chimaev becoming champ, even though it was boring, is kind of a big deal. So we're going to put that at A tier. And I think it's going to stay there for now. Shoot, where are the arrows at? I think it's accidentally did this before. Whoopsies. Past about... That was 319. Now we are on 320. Ankalaev versus Pereira 2. Start off with the bottom of the card. I remember this card being pretty decent. Veronica Hardy, I do remember this fight. She kind of put it on Rogan Walker, a little bit of hey, I'm going to start climbing up the rankings here. Austin Vanderford got submitted in his second fight in the UFC against Ramiz Bajami. Guy he probably should have beat, to be completely honest. Farid Bashrat beat Chris Gutierrez by decision. A little bit uneventful, a little bit forgettable. Maxi Chaisan lost to Yana Santos. Very forgettable fight, very boring. Hunali Soriano, Nikolai Vertenekov. Again, a little bit of a kind of forgettable fight. Edmund Shabazian KO'd Andre Muniz in round 1. I don't remember that, but I will definitely rate that. Patchy Mix, minus 305. Split decision with Jacob Wilkas. Maybe Wicklax. Maybe she rises in the UFC and ends up aging well, but man, Patchy Mix has had terrible year. Juseng Yu tries to aura farm and it goes terrible as he gets KO'd by Daniel Santos. Taba Gutierrez takes out another victim, unfortunately, against Tristan Vines. Joe Pyfer ended up submitting Abus Magomedov. Great performance for Joe Pyfer against Abus. Abus seems to be a guy that's staying in that 15 to kind of unranked spot, to be completely honest with you. Yusuf Zalal ended up getting submission against Josh Emmett with a triangle, from what I believe. And then we have I think this is my fight of the year. Yuri Prohaska versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. Absolutely went to war with each other. Crazy fight that they had. Absolute banger fight. Yuri Prohaska just eating all those shots in the first 2 rounds and then just turning on that samurai warrior spirit and just destroying Khalil Roundtree in the 3rd round. But yeah, no, it was a great fight. Great performances from these guys. Everyone was thinking at first, oh, is Yuri injured? What's up with Yuri in his first 2 rounds? And then he was like, oh yeah, I can just fucking take this guy out. And that's what he did against Khalil Roundtree Jr. Really great fight. I highly rate this on the card. I highly rate this. This really elevates the card. Merab being Corey Sandhagen added another notch into Merab's belt of title defenses. Really great for Merab. This helped bring him up on that GOAT status of 135. I think Merab, you can still argue that he is the GOAT of 135, if not one of. Because, who does he have? Aljamain Sterling, Dominic Cruz. I think you got to give Merab the 135 GOAT status, even though he lost to Piotr Yan. Piotr Yan is now second, by the way. It goes Merab, Piotr Yan, and then it goes Aljamain. That's how it goes, in my personal opinion. Had a great performance against Corey Sandhagen. I love Corey Sandhagen. I just bought a shirt. Okay, I just bought his footwork package. So I love Corey Sandhagen. Sucked to see him lose. I was really hoping he was pulling it out. I think the first 2 rounds was really going well for Corey, from what I remember. Yeah, first round he was doing his thing, but then unfortunately he kind of just ended up fading, and Merab got the takedowns, was stalling. I think, however, Piotr Yan has unlocked a new defense against, having your hands around locked around someone and then just kneeing him in the thigh against the cage. The new defense is to elbow down. And I'm seeing him elbow down specifically like right here on the arm. Elbowing down right there does not fucking feel good. You try doing it on yourself decently hard. It does not feel good. I think that's a new defense. I love it. I love to see Petr Yan kind of break through with that, honestly. But we'll talk about that later. Great fight from Rob Dvalishvili. Getting on to the main event. Lovely, lovely, lovely main event. Lovely. Absolutely. People were counting on Alex Pereira. It's going to go the same way. You know, Magomedov's going to do his thing. He's going to hold Alex. All the stuff like that. All the speculation going into it. Magomedov, yeah, man, he's going to be our light heavyweight champion again, I guess. And then Alex Pereira comes in and absolutely just drops his dick all over the octagon. Just destroys Magomedov. Just comes out, just fucking beats the fuck out of Magomedov. I loved this fight. I love it when a Dagestani gets destroyed. But honestly, yeah, I mean, Alex Pereira just proving a lot of people wrong, showing why he is becoming one of the GOATs of the sport. And yeah, just fucking brutalized Magomedov. First shot, fucking knocked him down. Magomedov panic shot from it. And then he just fucking 12-6 elbowed the shit out of him. I love watching that highlight. It's that replay of that highlight. It's so great. It's one of my this is the Alex Pereira Magomedov fight. It's one of my favorite championship fights. If we're going to be completely honest with you. And I gotta put this card. I think I'm also gonna put this card into S tier as well, just for how great the performance was from Pereira. The Yuri Prochazka Khalil Roundtree performance, just absolute cinema. Beautiful fight. So yeah. Anyways, moving on to our next one. We are getting to 321 now. Aspinall versus Gang. Oh, man. This was a bit of a stinker fight, or a stinker card as well. Actually, Ludovic Klein and Mateus Rebecki did have a crazy war with each other. Daniel Wood ended up being Jose Miguel Delgado. I love seeing that. Hamdia Habib. Terrible fight against Chris Barnett. I think they cut both of these guys. Yeah, these first fights were. This was boring. This was boring. This was really boring. This was pretty okay. This was pretty okay from what I remember. This was funny. Walter Walker just, man, the heel hooks are hilarious at heavyweight. Just seeing a big guy roll for that shit and it just get it, you know, just it works. It's like these guys really need to fucking stomp him out or something. Do something to fucking get out of this. I don't know. The Ludovic Klein Mateus Rebecki fight was definitely a great fight. They fucking bludgeoned the fuck out of each other. Ikram Aliskerov. Again, I think I kind of remember an uneventful fight against Jung Young Park. Quinlan Sal Kid, again, getting a crazy KO. Elevating this card a little bit, because again, like, I'm not seeing a lot of replays and highlights of this fight on my feed. And like this fight was just such a stinker fight. Just such a stinker fight. I don't know why Chris Barnett is represented by Spain. That should be America from what I remember. But yeah, no. Really, Ludovic Klein and Mateus Rebecki, great fight in the prelims. Walter Walker, Luke Sutherland, Nathaniel Wood, Jose Miguel Delgado, good fights, but the three first stinker fights. And then we got pretty good on the prelims here, and then another stinker, kind of a stinker fight from Ikram Aliskerov versus Jung Young Park. And then the KO from Quinlan Sal Kid, amazing. Alexander Volkov pulled it off against Shelton Almeida. And a little bit of a controversial split decision, but hey, Jelton Almeida, if you're gonna be holding people on the top position, and it's the same thing with fucking Khamzat Chimaev, I'll be just as hard on Jelton Almeida as I'm hard on Khamzat Chimaev. Okay, I'm not fucking biased on that shit. But anyways, Jelton Almeida holding the top position, not really doing much with it, and Volkov was throwing punches back, and yeah, that's the story of that fight. Alexander Rakic versus Azamat Murzakanov. Murzakanov's been on a tear this year, man. Just been KOing people back to back, and he did it again against Alexander Rakic with a jab. Just absolutely shut him down. Umar had a pretty forgettable fight against Mario Batista, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. Like, not really that memorable. Not really that memorable from Umar. Should have finished Mario. He really should. He should have shown that he is that much above Mario Batista. But to go to the decision with him, you know, Fernanda Jandiroba, Mackenzie Dern. Oh, this was a bit of a stink too. Like, yes, I did rank Mackenzie Dern in my 2025 Champions Tier list, like I think D or C or something like that. I mean, let me look real quick at Mackenzie Dern's fucking Instagram here, because I think she's at. I want to figure this out. Yeah, she got to 1.8 million followers. Like, this really elevated her. That's why I put her up on that rank, just to show guys, like, hey, she's at fucking 1.8 million fucking followers. That fucking means something, okay? Even if her fight against Fernanda Jandiroba was pretty boring and pretty uneventful. Yeah. And then we have this fight. Yeah. I hate looking back at this fight. Fuck, I hate it. As you can see, Ciryl Gane was absolutely dominating Tom Aspinall. 30 strikes against 27. Absolutely dominating him. You know, he busted up Tom Aspinall's nose, and Tom Aspinall, he couldn't deal with a bloody nose, you know? He's dealt with it in sparring before, but in the bright lights, Tom Aspinall just cannot handle having a bloody nose, you know? That was the reason why. It wasn't an eye poke at all. You could have continued with the eye poke. You know, the double eye poke that was fucking knuckle deep inside of his eyeballs, pushing his eyeballs back, fracturing his orbital. Like, he could have continued fighting after that. He got his nose bloodied up and decided not to. So, yeah, really terrible. Obviously not. But, fuck, this hurts my soul. Tom Aspinall's still champ, though. So, I mean, woo. But at the same time, too, not how we wanted this. This really stunk up the card, honestly, and it sucks that one of the most memorable things is from the prelims, that being Quinlan Saw-Kid, and I would say Ludovic Klein versus Mateusz Rebecki. Other than that, there's not much really memorable on this card, and I gotta put it in F tier. Honestly, I'm putting a lot of cards in F tier this year. There's a couple sneaker cards, a couple cards. I'm gonna admit on you, I fell asleep on some fights. Okay, I fell asleep, and yes, I consider myself a fan. I'm always watching every fight card I can. I try to watch every single numbered event. I try to watch every single fight. But I'm sorry, you got a working man here. All right, you got a working man. You gotta get my attention. And so with some of these fights, they were just really dull. Speaking of dull fights, Madalena versus Makhachev. From what I remember. You ever seeing it? Basing in our search Sakai? Bro, Vorsachev, they put on so many numbered events, and this guy's fucking ass. I'm glad he's fucking out of he's fucking 8-7. And I see people in comments being like, oh no, Slavoclons, why did they kick him out? He's fucking 8-7. That's why. He's been ass. Like, I don't know who has he beaten? Who has he beaten? Fucking no one. Oh, against Lawn Top by split. I don't even know what the fuck I haven't even seen this fucker in the UFC at all. So, I mean, shit. Wow, he went to split decision with Sadikov. Maybe that's why they kept him around for a little bit, because Sadikov's kind of doing okay. But yeah, no, fucking Slavoklov's his ass, and I'm tired of people saying that they're sad because he's left. No, you're fucking not. He's a meme, okay? Anyways, moving up. Angela Hill, Fatima Klein. Pretty forgettable. Again, this is another fighter. I'm sorry. 18-16. What are we doing? What are we doing? You need to be, yeah. I won't get any further into that. Pat Sabatini, decision. Kyle Dawkins submits Gerald Mearshart. Fortunately, kind of expected. Malcolm Wellmaker gets broad checked by Ethan Ewing, but we don't know how good he is. I like the Professor Finesser. That is a great name. 9-2. Don't know how good he is yet, and I'm interested to see what he ends up doing. But Malcolm Wellmaker, I believe the fight was supposed to. He is a bantamweight. For some reason, they're putting him as featherweight because it is a featherweight bout. But Ethan Ewing got a good decision over Malcolm Wellmaker. Kind of schooled him a little bit on some of the striking parts. And Blanchfield ended up submitting Tracy Cortez. Roman Kopylov ended up getting beat by Gregory Rodriguez by decision. I think he bloodied up Roman Kopylov pretty good. Bo Nickel, amazing head kick performance. I've been seeing this highlight a lot, of course, from Bo Nickel. And very much deservingly so, him being on the prelims of the main event spot. People are now going to be able to be okay with Bo Nickel going to the main event, to a main card spot. At least in my opinion, he should be fine to be on the main card spots again after kind of redeeming himself, especially with a crazy head kick KO like that. And then we got Beneil Dariush, Benoit St. Denis. This was kind of a crazy flash KO. I don't want to call it a fluke win, but Benoit St. Denis had a crazy exchange and just fucking put out Beneil Dariush. Beneil's chin, man. Really sad to see, but it is cracked, it is crumbled, and it is faded. So yeah, a little bit uneventful, but still a great win from Benoit St. Denis, and is gonna help put him on that track to the title. I'd love to see a Benoit St. Denis versus Paddy fight in the future. That would be pretty entertaining. But anyways, moving on. Leon Edwards, Carlos Prates. Banger fucking fight. Carlos Prates puts it on Leon Edwards. Absolutely destroys Leon Edwards. Rage baits him into striking and then just absolutely claps his cheeks, man. Sent him flying with a long range jab. Or I think it was a 2, maybe it was a cross from what I remember. Carlos Prates, man. We're gonna make a video about him. He's become, it's between him and Yuri, man. It's between him and Yuri for me as my favorite fighters this year. As far as like coming out make stars that are made this year in 2025. He's definitely one of them. Gained a great amount of attention on him. He really elevated this card. He really did. Carlos Prates elevates these main cards. He elevates these events. Whenever he's on them, you're going to expect a crazy fun fight. The Ian Gary fight, pretty fun fight still, but we'll let that one slide. For the most part, Carlos Prates comes to knock people out, man, and I love it. Same thing with Michael Morales, another banger fight. Again, Kevin Holland, the 170ers that are winning in this division right now are tall, lengthy, rangy guys like yourself who are using their range and advantage for themselves to get wins. So I mean, this was a great night for the welterweight division, except for Islam beating the JDM. Great night for these contenders. Really, I mean, there was just lots of talks about Carlos Prates, and Michael Morales from this card. So it definitely elevates this card a lot. Again, Valentina Zhang Weili was uneventful, very not memorable. I'm sorry, Valentina won, but should have finished Zhang. Should have finished her. If you're going to hold her down and you can do the things you were doing to her, you should have finished her. You should have been trying to look for that finish. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Again, kind of stinks up the card a little bit. Islam versus Jack Dillon Madalev. Oh, stinker fight. This is crazy. Significant. Yeah, there we go. 30 significant strikes. Thank you. Against 140. Like, I'm sorry. The Islam fight was boring, just like the Kamzat fight and the Dricus du Plessis fight. You will not convince me that this shit was fucking entertaining. You will not. All right? And I don't think you're going to convince a lot of casual people either. All right? And you hardcore, and it's not even hardcore fans. I feel like there's a lot of hardcore fans that are willing to accept, yeah, this was a boring fight. This was a dominating performance by Islam and definitely a, overall masterclass in grappling. But it was boring. It was boring. I'm sorry. Sorry to tell you, but it was, call me a casual. Tell me I don't know shit about fighting.
It was boring. It's not what I want to see. People just hate when one fighter from another area beats another fighter. I mean, yeah. At the same time, too, I would be, again, I'm not biased when it comes to performances and fights. If Jack Della Maddalena did exactly what Islam did to him, I'd be calling him out. Same thing. If you're taking this top position and you have him in these positions, these dominating positions, you should be looking to finish them. So Islam played it safe, just like Khamzat Chimaev. Unfortunately, stunk up the co-main and main event, stunk up these cards. Unfortunately, that is the case for a lot of these cards. The main events just kind of pooped themselves a little bit. But for the most part, this card was really good. So I'm gonna put this card in B tier, mainly because the main event and the co-main event were stinkers. Okay, the main card itself was a banger card. Bo Nickel getting that win was good. Some of these other fights were, unfortunately, a little. This was okay. Got the KO against him. This was utter. This was okay. This was pretty okay too, pretty good. Kind of expected a little bit. This was unexpected, but a pretty good fight. This was a little bit, actually got the submission, but again, nothing too crazy. Roman Kopylov, Greg Rodriguez, Nickel, amazing. I gotta have one in B tier, okay? I gotta have one, right? Maybe I'll change my mind when I get to this final card over here. Final card of the year. But let's get to it. 323, Dvalishvili versus Yan, the most, in our mind, most recent one that we could think of right now. Let's go ahead and get started. Naimov versus Marion Santos. Great KO from Marion Santos. Mansour Abdul Malik destroys Antonio Tricoli. Just kind of, again, expected. I don't know why the odds aren't there. Iwo and Ebo go to war like you've never seen. Just crazy fight between these guys. Absolutely crazy fight. I loved it. For as long as it lasted, it was very much Chet Congo and Pat Barry too, but even more improved because these guys were just both dropping both dropping each other like crazy, and just it was really, it felt like it was anyone's fight, and Iwo Boratsky just puts it on Ebo, catches him with a good shot, puts him down. Really great. Edson Barboza, Jalen Turner on the early prelims is pretty good as well to have that as a early prelim. Jalen Turner shuts down Edson Barboza and TKOs him. Not really like a KO, but TKO. And Edson Barboza tried to fight back, but unfortunately I think he shouldn't be done. I think he should be finished. I think he should retire. Mark Vettori, Bruno Ferreira, pretty forgettable, honestly. Come on, Mark Vettori, how the fuck are you beating these guys with... You fucking are holding it, Izzy and these other guys against the cage and using your grappling really well, but for fucking some reason you just like eating punches like fucking like they're sandwiches. You like eating knuckle sandwiches for fun. Martin Vettori does. Fresh Yam, TKOs Nazim Satikov. This was a pretty entertaining fight. Macy Barber for Sakurine Silva. Yeah, a little bit of a stinker fight. Chris Duncan, crazy fight against Terrence McKinney. Crazy first round. Terrence McKinney again coming out hard as fuck. I was expecting Terrence McKinney to take out Chris Duncan, to be completely honest with you, but Chris Duncan weathered the storm, man. Showed that Scotland chin, and submitted Terrence McKinney after he just gassed out in the first round. Manuel Torres destroyed Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson looked like an idiot on the feet, man. He looked like an idiot. I'm sorry, I like Grant Dawson too, but he looked completely lost on the feet against Manuel Torres. Manuel Torres fucking just blacked his ass, man. Tough to see. I hope Grant Dawson comes back stronger and stuff. Manuel Torres fucking destroyed him. Jan Blachowicz, Bogdan Guskov. This was a tough one. I don't know why they say draw. Was it a draw? It was a draw. Why did they say decision majority? It's fucking stupid. $1 billion company, by the way. Anyways, we're, pretty decent rounds. I'm gonna try to remember this as best I can. Pretty even on the most part. Round 2, I know, was terrible for Jan. He was just got destroyed. I think that was a 10-8 round for Bogdan, but I think he came back, and I think he won round 1 and 3. Jan Blachowicz. So it sucks. Really sucks for Jan. He's kind of that point too, where I think we throw him a bone and we do a UFC Poland or something like that, and get him a nice retirement fight. But who knows, man? Maybe he still got it. I'd like to see him back as soon as possible, so that way we can see that. This I was not expecting. I was kind of joking. Payne Talbot would just outmog Henry Cejudo. But I was really expecting Henry Cejudo to fight smart. But I should have changed my pick through the fight week, because Henry Cejudo was saying, "This is my retirement fight. This is my last fight." And when he's out of it and he's announcing that's his last fight, he's out of it. He's not going to win. Whenever we have a fighter saying, "This is my retirement fight. This is it for me," they are done. They are out of it. They are looking forward to being done with this. They are already thinking about what's next for them. They're not thinking about this fight. So yeah, kind of sucks for Henry Cejudo. I like him a little bit. He had some funny moments. Really fucked up his career, to be completely honest with you. Fucking retiring early like that. Fucking idiot. Payne Talbot just, fucking destroyed Henry Cejudo. Really great performance from Payne Talbot. Definitely redeeming himself against Harney Barcelos. But how good is Harney Barcelos, man? We need to throw Harney Barcelos a bone and get him a fight up in the rankings. He definitely deserves it. But yeah, great fight from Payne Talbot. Brandon Moreno versus Tatsu Taira, a little bit controversial on this TKO, but I understand it a little bit. I mean, when you're actually there as the ref listening to those shots, it's going to sound different than when you're on the TV listening to it. So I think maybe the ref was just hearing some really hard shots landing on Brandon Moreno. Brandon Moreno just really wasn't going anywhere, unfortunately. TKO for Tatsu Taira. Would really love a UFC Japan. It sucks that they need a fighter to go to Japan. It'd be cool if we could just fight in Japan, because we're in Japan. But great fight from Tatsu Taira. We move up. We got a little bit of a stinker from Joshua Van. Man, he became champ, but it was a fluke. It was a fluke win. Pantoja. If Pantoja in any other scenario just had his elbow slightly more bent, we might be talking about Alexander Pantoja becoming a GOAT of 125 right now. I had him probably gonna beat Josh. I had him probably beating Joshua Van for that fight, but we'll never know. I hope Alexander Pantoja's arm recovers as soon as possible, so we can get back in there and get a rematch between these two. But they're probably gonna move on. We make Pantoja fight a contender fight. I think they'll do him dirty like that. I think they will, because they really want to move on. They like the young contenders of 125 right now. And then moving on to Rob versus Petr Yan. I love this fight from Petr Yan. I loved this fight. This was a great fight from Petr Yan. He's fucking revolutionized some defense. Some takedown defense. He brought in a great method, and everyone's been talking about this now. Elbowing down on the forearms. Elbowing down on the forearms was huge, and I think that kind of elevated this card a little bit. Bringing in this new, this is something to look out for. It's like when Conor did the shoulder fucking strikes. I know a lot of people don't shoulder strike anymore, but it was one of those things where it's like, whoa, we fucking haven't seen that. And I know it wasn't Merab got his arm broken because of that, but it was very effective. Very impressive from Petr Yan, dumping Merab on his head, playing him on his own game a little bit. Just, he had an answer for everything. It was beautiful. He really did download that information and fucking went at it against Merab. But yeah, no, I love this. This card was pretty good. It was a good card to end on. Couple stinkers, but for the most part, some good fights, some good KOs. I think I'm gonna put it in an A tier. I think I'm gonna put that in A tier. So yeah, this is my list right here for all numbered events. I'm not gonna do fight nights. There's just so much to go over, and I would be here for, I'm already in an hour right now. I'd be here for like 3 hours talking about every fight night. And I'll be honest with you, it's a lot of fights to remember. I'm trying to get this database expanded with more fighter names and more fights and stuff like that. Currently rewatching all the original UFCs, and I'm making my way up to where we are now. I know that's going to take a while, but getting all this information stored inside here for you guys, okay, so I can get the best analysis and history and information and content, whatever. But yeah, this is my tier list. Again, let me know if you disagree or agree with this. If you'd move one up, let me know why. If you'd move one down, let me know why. But yes, thank you for watching, and have a great day.